Hi, welcome to Blood Talk Small Talk, where we aim to provide a deeper understanding of the teamwork it takes to ensure quality care in a healthcare setting. Tune in for a mix of serious science and casual conversation, and you might be surprised to learn just how much goes on behind the scenes. I'm your host, Mars.
And I'm your host, Peach.
So, on today's episode, we'll be talking about one of the most crucial things regarding becoming a CLS, the board
Lulu.
exam. Yeah, Lulu taking the board exam. This crazy girl. If you're new here or happen to have missed our episode regarding our experiences during the CLS training program, we mentioned before that we're from California, and for us, the state uses the ASCP as our licensing exam. ASCP is the American Society for Clinical Pathology. So, in case you did happen to miss those, you can find the links in the description for that episode, as well as the link for the California Department of Public Health and the ASCP website regarding all of those CLS goodies. But since it's been a while since Peach and I took the ASCP, we invited back one of our most recent students who just freshly graduated to talk about her experiences for prepping versus taking the board exam. Well, like, and her overall experience, right? So hopefully, though, we're not like asking you too much and like throwing you into having to remember those suppressed memories. But before we jump right in, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Natalie. I graduated from Cal Poly Pomona in 2020. I got a bachelor's degree in microbiology, and then so that was when the pandemic happened. So I stayed inside for a bit, and then I tried to look for a job. I ended up in Southern California, and I got a job as a lab assistant. And then that's where I found out about the program, and they encouraged me to apply, and I did, and I'm glad I did.
Yay!
Yeah, we're glad you did as well.
Yes, thank you. Um, but let's see where to start. So, for our program, again, we all did basically the same,
Mm-hmm.
through the same school and different hospitals. Well, Natalie trained at the same hospital that I did, as well as where I work, and then she works there now as well. But would you like to talk a little bit about, I guess, how our program is structured, and then at the end, like around the time that you're prepping and getting ready for the board exam?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the program is pretty much 4 courses. It's a year program. It's uh, blood hematology, blood bank, chemistry, and microbiology. Um, and I think there's more emphasis on I think there's more emphasis on hematology, chemistry, and micro. And blood bank was, I don't know, it was really quick, I think. But yeah, so and then at the end of the year we take a cumulative final at the school, and then that's when we are able to take the board after that.
Like, it's a requirement that you have to pass that cumulative final at school before you
Uh,
can even register, right?
yeah, you have to pass every test actually that they give you. Um, I think if you fail one time, I think you only get 2 chances. So if you fail
Mm.
one time, you get one more chance, and then if you fail another time, they kick you out of the program.
Well, that must be stressful throughout
It,
the whole
it's
year.
stressful. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's gotten a lot stricter like as the years go on. But let's see. So I do recall that towards the end, right? We for our program we have to like rotate around the clinical rotations as well as doing the didactic.
Right.
So um the California Department of Public Health, I think, right? They have a set requirement of how many hours you have to be on each bench, and
Mm-hmm.
Right.
so those amount of hours don't technically add up to all of the hours that we have, I guess, for the program, if that makes sense. So about the final months of the program for us, we don't have any more bench rotations. They just
Right.
give us like review or study time. But so uh did you start studying around that time, or like start prepping beforehand, or like how and when did you start prepping for the ASCP?
Uh, I I believe we have a like a presentation close to the end, and then that's when I started really studying for the board and the cumulative, which is it pretty much covers everything. So
Mm-hmm.
I yeah, so it was after the presentation. I started studying pretty much. I started with kind of with micro because our micro final was after the presentation and then the cumulative. So micro, and then I started with everything else after.
So that would be your like first step when do you decided to start study or taking the SCP exam? What was your first step that you did?
Well, I was trying to find like the best way to study. Uh, I was asking people who took the board already. I was asking them what they did, what they studied, because there's a lot of material out there.
Yeah.
And what most people were telling me was it was the MediaLab. It was like the modules, and then they have like practice tests, which kind of
Mm.
simulate the board. And then they were also suggesting other material, like I think Success was the one that I used, and then that what most people were telling me that is good. It's pretty comprehensive, so I was using the Success mostly, and then I would like reference other materials. I think there's Polinsky cards, and then there's this other book, but I forgot what it was, it's but it was mostly Success that I used. Oh,
Interesting.
and then there's the on the ASCP website, they have practice tests. You can pay for it. What we did is like we split the membership or whatever, and then we shared the login to like do the practice tests.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
Yeah,
actually
yeah, it
me and
was.
my classmates too.
Yeah, that kind of smart. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
it was good.
for you guys, the program now, they actually give you access to Media Lab, I think in the beginning, whereas for us it's like we had to pay for it ourselves.
Oh,
So
Mm-hmm.
Sun and I what we did, I think I'm not sure when we actually bought it. I think it was maybe like after the hematology didactic or something. We paid for it and then we like split the account. And I think a bunch of other people in my class too, like if they were training at the same hospital, they would buy an account and split it across them. But it was known as Lab CE at the time, but like I think they started to catch on that people were sharing the accounts, because if you logged in at like two places at once, they'd kick you out.
oh no.
So,
Okay.
but I do also recommend like the ASCP study guide thingy. But like, yeah, what we did for my entire class, I think, or at least my good group of friends, we bought one, and then like we actually got together to study one day, and then did it like on we streamed it on the TV, and then we like did it together. So if you guys can make studying fun, do it. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, my
Um,
my favorite resource was definitely the Media Lab at the time. How about you, Peach?
Um, I didn't use Media Lab. I was too poor.
It is
I didn't have
expensive.
access to
it's
it at the
expensive.
time. Um, I didn't even have Success. I just have basically the class materials and the BOC. We got the BOC, but was like toward the end, almost at the. Mm, I think we got the BOC during chemistry didactic section. So it was like a mid-year, I guess. And then just to prepare for the SCP exam, so we have that BOC that we would share among all of us, and then the class material, basically.
Well, with
Yeah.
not much, you did very well on the board exam. So what does that say? Our program is great and it just keeps growing, right? So, um,
No, it's just I guess we just have to make do with what we have. I was lucky that, I passed. I did study hard like during that time. I think I wake up at 6 every single day and I start study until 10.
did
Till you
did your
sleep,
training
right?
site
Mhm.
did your training site give you that 1 month review time at the end also?
Yes. So
Okay,
we have
so
that time also.
I guess it's all of us for
But it's also like um it's not exactly just study time. So we're supposed to go back to different departments if you like kind of make up time also like if you call out,
Right.
so then
Yeah, we
you
have
use
to.
that time to make up. And then if you like need to review something, so I think I went back to hematology looking at the microscope, like looking at the cells. And then I went back to like blood bank and like review how to identify the antibody. We can go back to micro. I think I went back to micro a lot because I guess kind of like what Natalie said, the micro exam and like the final is very close, or like the micro finals and then the program final was really close.
Yeah.
So but then still I also have to focus on the micro final first.
Hmm.
So I guess when I start study for the ASCP, micro was the section that I study the least because I just study for the final. Yeah. And then I think micro is one of those things that you really have to memorize. And then for me, it was hard to memorize everything if I don't actually practice. So I think that's why I go back to micro a lot to actually get hands on and like seeing it, smelling it, have it soak in.
you.
So I guess that's help. And then like, well, I guess I mean not to go like off for too long, but do you think like all those study material that you mentioned and like whatever like textbook that we provide, the class materials, like and all the resources from the training site, do you think all those materials are like enough resources for you to be well prepared for the exam?
I think so. It's not really like just one thing that you need to like really have. I think it's like the whole thing together is what made me able to like pass or to be able to answer the questions because the actual test it was different than what I thought it was going to be. So
Hmm.
they uh, they asked questions in a different way. So like
Mhm.
it's not just like memorizing like oh this and this. It's like actually like kind of critical thinking and like narrowing down the answer. So I like any material that that is available to you will be helpful.
Well, I guess you kind of caught on. I was about to ask, my next question was, what if you can only choose one thing, like only one material, like either, just one
Oh,
thing. You
um,
can only have one thing.
I mean the whole like program.
No, one thing. What would you
uh,
say?
I
No, I
mean,
mean the reason I'm asking this is because, like I understand like the current student, maybe they don't have a lot of like financials, I get capability. So if they have to, or if you would recommend like, you spend money on one thing, what would we recommend it to them? Just kind of helping them out. And
I
and also like just to recognize also that we all learn differently, right?
yeah,
Um,
I
but yeah.
think the media lab because it was given to us for free. It was actually we
In the
had
student
homework.
tradition.
Huh?
in your
So,
student tradition.
oh yeah, yeah, that's true. We paid through the tuition,
Love it.
but I mean, yeah, we had homework on it, so they kind of had
Mm.
to like give it to us. But yeah, the
Oh.
media lab had, I had like pretty much like modules, and it had a lot of information for each subject, and then it also had the practice tests to like test your knowledge on each
Each
subject.
section.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So I think
okay,
the
that's good.
media lab was really helpful.
Okay.
Peach, what was your if or what do you think yours? Oh, you only had VOC.
I
Yeah, that's
only
what you were
have
saying.
VOC. I don't
Okay.
have. I said like if you
Yeah.
this one, I would have said VOC because that was the only thing I have. Like I mean, that is given beside the class
Yeah.
lecture, right? Because I think
Mhm.
all of the students would have that already.
I heard a bunch of different like info from different people who like had taken the program before me. Um, one of my friends from undergraduate, she said that her favorite resource was bottom line approach,
What
and
is it
she
again?
a bottom line approach. It's like the one with
The funny
Oh, you know
Oh,
what?
pictures.
Hold on, I have it. I have it. Haha. That's what my shelf is for, guys. Okay, so BOC. This is the one that Peach was talking
yes.
about. This is probably a very, very old edition, but as you can see, it's published by the American Society for Clinical Pathology. So it literally is written and published by the people who give out the exam. And then the other one, which is this one, is probably very. Hold on, I have to hide my thing. This one is a very old edition and like a little bit ratted out, but like this is one of the things that I use, which is a bottom line approach. So this one is really nice because it kind of gives you like little things that help you remember stuff. Let me see if I can find a good one. Uh but basically like it gives you little mnemonics and stuff like that on how to remember things, as well as like highlights what would be on the board exam itself. I'm trying to find a really good
Actually,
picture.
I think I got a copy of that or got to read it because some other student who got the book and then kind of loaned it. I
Hmm.
actually really like that book also.
This
It's
is a
very
very big
short.
recommend.
It's
It's
very
very
to the point.
condensed.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
think if you read that book before you take
Start studying.
classes, before you have knowledge about it, you probably think that it's trash because it doesn't have any like
Here.
detail. No, like literally, because I think I kind of look at it at the beginning, and then I was like, oh, this is not good, so I never actually
Right.
bought it. And then if I think when I was during the review time, I think I got to look at it. Maybe some other, maybe my I don't know. Like somehow I got a hand of it, and then like some, but I didn't buy it. And then I was like, oh, this is actually pretty helpful.
So one thing that I wanted to say was, so first, the bottom line approach. I had one of my classmates from like undergrad tell me that like it's literally a bottom line approach because this is the baseline of like everything that you would need to pass the board exam. And then I've had other people, so like when I was still a student, there was someone who had like just finished as well, and they told me like they just completely studied from the BOC as well, and like that's the bare minimum. They're like, if you can just completely study from the BOC and then like if you get your answers right on that, you'll pass. So I have heard multiple different things. I do agree with Natalie that it's like it's hard to choose just one. If you can utilize like all of the different resources that you can, it's great. But for me, I think I have to choose Media Lab as well, just because like the exam simulator, even though it's not the best. Like it's not exactly like the exam itself. It's just helpful because it lets you go through like all of the questions that they
Mhm.
would ask. It's a huge question bank,
Mhm.
and so it's just like exposure basically, right? Like if you just keep going through it enough, you'll start to like learn things. And
Yeah.
I like it because it gives, if you get the answer wrong, it'll tell you and explain like why, as well as why the correct answer is the correct answer.
And does
Exactly.
it also kind of like increasing the level, the difficulty level if you get it right?
Oh yeah, so let's talk a little bit about Media Lab. I swear we're not sponsored, but it really is like one of the best resources if you can get it. So Media Lab, I guess now they have like lectures and stuff like that, right? But there is a you I don't know if you can just like only buy the exam simulator portion, but for the exam simulator portion, they you can break it down into like multiple different ways to study. You can study by subject, and this one it doesn't only go just like hematology, blood bank, chemistry, and micro. It like can also break it down further into like parasitology, immunology, blah 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 blah. So
Oh.
so you can actually do it might have changed a little bit since I last used it, but like you can choose to take a quiz of like 10 questions. Is it 15, 25, 50, and then like 100, right? 100 is the max. And then you can sort it from different subjects. Like you can just select certain ones, or you can do like cumulative, you can do cumulative or like all of them. And then there's different ways in which you can take it as well. It's like, do you want to know if you got the answer right, like right after you take it, or do you want your score at the end? And then they also have like an practice exam of 100 questions where you can do the what is it, adaptive? Yeah, adaptive. So like if you the ASCP itself is adaptive, so it's like you start with an easy question, and then if you get it right, the questions keep getting more difficult and difficult, or more and more difficult. And so like but the difficulty of the question has different point weights, right? So like I don't recall. So like the you need a 400 to pass, and then you could theoretically get as much as 1000 points, I think, if you like just are awesome and get like all of the most difficult questions correct. Um but because it is adaptive and it will get more and more difficult as you answer questions correctly, once you get a question wrong, it'll go back to like the
Basic.
easiest
Or,
difficulty. Yeah.
but also, even though you can get up to 1,000 point, a million point, or whatever, you just need 400s to
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
Just aim for 401, guys. That's it. That's
Mini
That's
yogurt
it.
together.
yeah, mediocrity together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mini yogurt together. Yeah.
But yeah, I really do endorse the Media Lab. But as Natalie was saying, it is very much different from the ASCP itself. So I think it's a really good practice exam simulator. But it's nowhere close to the
Do the real
ASCP
one.
itself. I don't recall actually. So you said you paid for the subscription for the ASCP exam simulator. Was that closer to the way that the ASCP structures its questions?
Not really.
No.
That's why,
Mm.
like, I thought it would be more
Mm-hmm.
similar, but I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. It was just like, even the way the questions were kind of worded, I didn't really see that much. So it's just really like what you know and what you can like narrow down.
So
I do feel like the wording is very confusing. The way they're wording it's just very tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what study methods do you think work best for you? Are you like reading? Are you kind of like watching the videos, making notes, teaching other people, other student in the class? Which one is or what method work best for you?
For me personally, I like to write things down. That helps
Mm.
me remember. So I would read the success, and then I would write down like the most important things that I think would, I would need to know, and then yeah, I would just write notes pretty much the whole time.
Hmm,
What
that's
about
good.
you, Mars?
For me, um, my study method I think was just really like binge questions on MediaLab.
Mm.
It was like the best lazy studying. I say lazy studying method
Mm.
because I think I would just like get my tablet and then like or my phone. It's like okay, I need to study, but I don't want to sit and study. So I would get that and then just like lay in bed and then do a bunch of questions. It's terrible, but
No, it's okay. You passed. We all CLS now,
this
so
is true.
whatever works. There's
But I think
different road to get there, so
I
it
think
works.
for me, the way that I studied was a lot of like, I actually printed the subjects for bottom line approach. And then as I was going through like questions, I think I used Media Lab as well as the other one. Was it the BOC or Success? And oh no, yeah, it was BOC. So I did primarily Media Lab and BOC. But while I was going through questions, if I got one wrong, I would go back and look at a bottom line approach. And if there was nothing in there about the question, I would like make a little note on the side about that, especially if it was like a question that would pop up on multiple of the study materials. So like if I
Mm.
saw it show up on Media Lab, in BOC, in Success
Mhm.
or whatnot, but it was missing from a bottom line approach, that's when I would make a note about it. Um, and then those like printouts that I had of this book were like my cheat sheet that I looked at right before I went in to take the exam. So
Mars should auction out her bottom line.
I didn't know. Like I looked at it just now, and it's not like I had it's not in the hard copy itself. It was in my printouts, so I don't think
Mm.
I have those anymore.
Actually, I have that one. Like I said, I got a copy from some other like student who got it. I actually forgot about it. And see, I didn't buy the book, so this is how I'll
That's
show
actually so
you.
cool. Who cares, man? Yeah.
Oh, you
No,
can't see it
green screen.
like here.
I kind of see it. Yeah.
Um, how
Oh wow.
like full of notes.
See,
I
I
kind
think
of
yours
add
looks.
pages here and there.
Yours is more than mine, but let's see. So tangent, I guess that was a little bit of a
Yeah.
tangent.
Oh my
Um,
god, it's so old that the folder just broke. That's how long I haven't opened it. But anyways, um, yeah, I think I guess the next question is like how long, using with all of these study materials that we have talked to, right? There's so many resources out there. And also right now, our favorite material is Blood Talks. There's so many videos about
oh
each of the
yeah,
topics, so don't forget about that.
go look
But
at
yes,
the rest
so
of the channel because there's so many videos that will help you study all varieties of topics. And if there's something that is not covered, leave a comment down below and ask Peach. No, like beg Peach to make a video on that topic. And
I will try my best. Actually, a lot of people was like, "Oh, can you do this and do that?" I'm like, I try my best. It's kind of very like one man show, so it just takes a
why
lot
not?
to put together a video. But I read all the comments, so thank you very much for leaving those suggestions. I really do take a note of it. I have like a Excel sheet and I put all those topic in there. So please, continue leaving comments and asking for topic because I do go through them and I promise I'll get to them slowly but surely.
I have
Anyways, how
seen.
long do you spend on preparing and do you feel that it was enough?
I mean, I feel like you're never gonna feel like you're ready. For me, I mean, it took even before we had that, I think month time to study. I was studying before, and then I had that month, and I thought, like, okay, maybe I can get through this much in that amount of time. But then, like, it just kept pushing back, and then even after I took the cumulative and the program was over, I took maybe about like a month, another month to like try to like prepare more, and then I I actually like kind of rescheduled my exam date like a week later, and then at that point I was like I can't keep pushing it back. I'm never gonna feel ready. I'm just gonna take it. And I was able to cover most of the material, but like I said, like you're never gonna feel ready. There's always something like, oh, like I forgot about this, or like I need to look at this more. So yeah, it took
So
me.
that means, I guess that 1 month was enough because you took that 1 month to study for the final, and obviously you did pass.
Yeah, I think um yeah, I think that month. And then after that was just like supplemental, like, yeah. But for me personally, yeah, I never felt ready. So yeah, just
Mm.
you just have to be like jump jump in like the deep end, kind of.
So after having taken the exam, do you feel like you studied enough or like too much or like over, yeah, like how the amount
I
of effort that you put into studying versus taking it, like do you think it was a
Mm.
I
good
I think
balance?
it was just enough just
Just
enough
enough.
Mm.
Okay.
yeah.
To get by.
Yeah.
Fair fair enough.
How? Sorry, go ahead, Mars.
Oh, no, I said like fair enough. That sounds
Do you
pretty.
feel satisfied with what you got? With the time that you spend studying?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was
Like
just
for me, I would say, like
mhm,
for me, it would be yes, I satisfied because I passed. I don't care how much I got because
right. You passed.
you
That's
you
I
can
think
get a
that's all that
thousand,
matters.
you can get 400.
Yeah.
We
It's the
now
same thing.
CLSs, and that's all that matter. And I'm
Exactly.
not just to discredit or not encouraging people to do better. I'm just trying to say that, like, just don't be so afraid. Um, you know, we all get there. We all become a CLS. Just need to put your work into it.
Yeah.
We all can do it.
I think I've heard a lot of things about people like just suggesting take it right away, take it as soon as possible. Because there's just really so much information, and then especially because like um we have to take the cumulative exam anyways. That's like, yeah. Do you
Yeah.
think that the cumulative exam that they gave us at the end of the year was pretty spot on with the information that they kind of like asked on the ACP?
Um,
I
I
don't think so.
agree with Peach. Not really. I feel like it's more focused on like, I mean, because it is the Media Lab, so it's like more focused on the information that's on Media Lab.
Oh, so
Really?
you take it on Media Lab? That's your final?
The Yeah, the cumulative finals on Media Lab.
Oh, interesting. For
Oh.
us, like a good, I want to say almost all of it was questions from the BOC.
Oh,
Like for us. Well, how about for you, Peach? Like during your year, do you recall?
I don't recall anything. I'm sorry, it was too long ago. But
That's
I
okay.
remember that. Um, I mean, the reason I said that it doesn't reflect or it doesn't reflect the actual like a ACP exam, because the level of difficulty. I remember walking out of the final and was telling myself if the ASCP is this easy, nobody would fail.
Oh.
I'm sorry, and I'm not saying because I did good in final either, but I'm just thinking that it is a lot harder. And then my, I guess I got my confirmations after I took the exam, like the ASCP exam. I remember at the end of the exam, I can't even spell a word pass.
We talked about that last time.
Yeah, like it was just like a white screen with a very, very small font, probably like 10 in the middle, and then it's like PASS. And I like remember like staring at it like PSS, PSS. What does that mean? PASS. I literally like for a few minutes, and then I walked out, and then like the person there was had to be the one who told me like, "Oh, congratulations," and he print something out and then give it to me. I was like, "Oh, I passed."
So,
Yeah,
I think a little bit of what we should explain further is why like the class versus like media lab versus BOC and success questions is so different from the ASCP is all of these resources that you use to study, it's kind of like singular information, right? It's just like one question. They give you just like kind of very few parameters and then they ask you like something diagnostic. So let me see if I can look up something really quick.
mm.
Mm. The term shift to the left refers to A. Microscope adjustment. B. Immature cell forms in the peripheral blood. C. A trend on a Levy Jennings chart. D. A calibration adjustment on an instrument. So like that's the kind of question that like you'll get from the BOC, whereas like in on the ACP itself, they'll give you kind of like patient information, right? So it's like this is what you're
More
seeing.
like a scenario
Yeah, it's like
base.
a case study, right? It's like a case study. So they'll give you like the demographics of the patient, what they come in for, what their symptoms of are, and then the test results that you see. And then you have to like try and I guess what is the disease? Like even though you would think that us as CLS we don't really go too much into like the disease state, it is still very important for our job. And so like that's why um that's kind of the level of difficulty that the ASCP gets into. But also that's like one of the bigger picture, I think more complicated questions, but there are some I think that are just like subject based, right? But it's
Yeah,
also
there's
kind of
some
like
like facts, just like a factual one.
but it's
But a lot of them is like that. Like I remember the blood bank one that would be like, oh, you have a female of, and then it won't say a female of childbearing age. It would be like a 34 years old female. So then you have to know like, okay, she's a childbearing age, right? Come in with these symptoms, and here's the test, and then like here are your test results of the type and screen. If you know need to give blood, what do you do? Like what tests, or like what yeah, what other tests would you perform before
oh yeah.
like giving this medications or giving this unit of blood, something like that. Like it's kind of, it's not like you have to know a lot of things to come up with that answer. Is not very direct, so that's why I'm thinking it would be more um difficult. But at the same time, I think it does prepare you for like a real life situations, because once you put into work, those are the scenarios that you would see at the hospital. Like, you know, you see all those patients come in like, oh, 34, 40 years old females coming in, bleeding or spotting, you know, what could have caused that, stuff like that. So yeah. Oh well, that is that's very heavy, like kind of living the nightmare, huh?
Yeah, I think I saw in your face you kind of went through it a little bit. You were like, "Oh God."
Oh my god.
I remember
Okay, so
now.
like, you've been studying for weeks or for months or I don't know, for years, blah blah blah. But now tomorrow's your exam. Like, tomorrow is the big day. It's like it's now or never. Like
It's
do or
now
die.
or I
So
can't
what do you
reschedule.
do that day?
Oh yeah.
um,
Do you like go out
I
and kill Lulu? Look at
No?
why?
it.
Oh no. Um, for me, I I tried cramming because
Mm,
I'm a very I get like anxiety. So if I'm not
mm,
like focusing on what I have to do, I just like think about it the whole time. So I just studied.
mm,
I studied the day before, went to bed, woke up, and then I kept looking at my notes.
mm.
Yeah.
What time was your exam?
I think it was like, is it two, 2 or 3 in the afternoon?
Mm.
Yeah,
So
So
you
like
took the afternoon exam one.
yeah, yeah.
What about you, Mars?
mine was a morning exam and I think the entire day before like I didn't study at all cuz I was like my brain the amount of studying that I've been doing, I feel like my brain is like leaking out of my ear. And if I just like, if I overwork it, I like completely burn out, I know that I will do terrible on the board exam. So props to you for like continuously still being
Yeah,
able to study.
seriously.
I
I
think
did.
go ahead.
I felt no. I know what you mean by like the brain leaking because I felt that the like that whole day while I'm studying I had someone drive me there, so I was like I was just I think I took a nap in the car because I was exhausted.
I think all I did maybe the day before was take like one or two of the adaptive tests on MediaLab and then I was like that's it. Like I
Mhm.
cannot. And then the morning of cuz I took my exam in the morning, I got to the testing place early and then that's when I was just reviewing quickly over my printouts of a bottom line approach. So something that like I felt like I really needed to know but I kind of was like still a little bit weak on.
Mhm.
That's I think how I did it, but yeah, leading up to it, took a break from studying, like toned down how much I studied as it got closer just because of that like yeah, what about you,
So
Peach?
for me, the day before, so like throughout the study, I make my notes, and then each week or each day, I don't remember, I would rewrite my note and condense it. So each day it will be one page less, and then at the end, I left with 1 page,
With
and
everything.
that is all I study on that last day and the morning off. I just
That's
have that
kind
one
of smart.
page.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's good because then you kind of like you feel like you write so much information and then you realize that like less and less, but it also
And then
is
you
like
found out that
efficient.
nothing on that one page was on the exam. No, no,
Right.
no. I'm joking. So that I think that thing, um, the reason I keep reviewing that one page is because the thing that I keep forgetting, like the thing that I keep,
Oh,
like if I take like do the BOC or like do other like questions, review question or anything, like anything that I keep missing all the time, or like the concept that I can't get it in my head, that will be in that one piece so that I can have something to reference it really quickly. So yeah, so that's why I kind of keep referring to that page the day before and the morning of. And how did you get enough sleep the night before? Did you guys sleep?
It was hard. I was just
I think
worrying.
I think I kept waking up definitely, but I
Me
was like,
too.
God,
I
God
don't
damn
think
it,
I
Mars,
get.
you need to sleep, or else how are you gonna function?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I keep telling myself, like you need to sleep, you need to go to sleep, but I can't sleep. I
I know.
couldn't sleep. I keep waking up.
I think that's why I scheduled for a morning exam because I was like, I just want to get it over with. Like,
Actually,
Mhm.
I'm the opposite. That's why I schedule for the afternoon exam. I think by the morning, I would think that I would be so tired that I would fall to sleep. And then I make sure that I have somebody drive me there because I'm thinking that I might fall to sleep in the car. But all of that were wrong. I think I was too worried that I just can't sleep in the car, I can't sleep in the morning. Yeah. But then the night after, I got a really good night's sleep.
Yeah, same.
so let's see. So the exam is 100 questions, right? And they give you 2.5 hours to take the thing. How long did you guys take?
I took the whole
I
thing.
know I finished early. I think I took an hour and a half.
I took
I
my
finished really early.
time. How about you?
Yeah.
Does anyone want to guess how long it took me?
Less than an hour.
Yeah, actually, I took it in
No.
45 minutes.
Wow.
Because I'm the kind of person who is like, I cannot go back and reread my answers because I'll change them.
Right.
And one of the things that they told us all throughout the program was like, go with your gut.
Don't change.
Yeah.
Yeah, go with your gut. And I've been like that with like exams ever since because I tend to like overthink things. So the thing that they liked to like tell us throughout the program was like go with your gut because usually like from the amount of studying that they like give us and then they like drill into our heads what the answers are, even if you don't know what the answer is at that point, it's kind of, or even though you don't know why it is that answer, you'll know it's that from just like how much repetition they go through throughout everything. And if you cannot at least pick out what the answer is, you're able to narrow it down between two, right?
Yeah.
um because it's all multiple choice. So that's why I just could not waver at all because I knew like especially from doing the exam simulator, I realized that like it's always my first like gut instinct of what to choose that's correct. And anytime I go back and change it, it's like, oh, you screwed yourself over. And so
Mm.
yeah.
That's good. That's very good. Very good instinct. For me, I think I did go back. I think I finished really early, but I left the exam an hour and a half because I did go back. And I think because during the exam you can mark like a or flag which one you wanted to go back, and those are would be the only one that I go back to. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
go back and kind of
Yeah.
go through all of them because, like what you said, I think if you go back, I also tend to overthink and then kind of change my answer, and then it's become wrong. But I think
Yeah.
I reviewed the one that I flagged because like how like sometimes when you take the exam, as you go through the whole exam, some of the questions might remind you of the answer of the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I was like, wait, this is something that might come up. So like I kind of flagged those one. So then I went back and reviewed those one. Yeah. What about you, Natalie?
I did flag a couple, but I mean, I just took my time on each question,
Mm.
and then made sure like that I at least narrowed it down. Um, but I don't remember going back. I mean, I went back, but then like I didn't really change my answer. So, but yeah, I think I'm glad that I like took my time because I also didn't want to rush. I know I wanted to get it over with, but I also like wanted to like, make sure that it was like okay, like
It's
I
a
got
big
this.
exam.
You did the best
Yeah.
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
can, right?
I think
yeah.
I
Yeah.
was just like so mentally over it afterwards. So how did you feel after like okay, no. How did you feel while you were taking it? First, let's go through that. How did you guys feel
Mm.
while you were taking the exam? From
Uh,
question 1 to question 100, what were the things going through your head?
I was just freaking
When
out
would
the
I
whole time.
retake?
Oh, I felt like I was gonna fail. After each
Yeah.
question, I was like, fuck. I mean, oh, sorry. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fail. Yeah, that's how I felt. And then I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to retake it. And then I pressed the submit, and then that's when I saw the pass.
And then how did you feel after you saw the pass?
I was excited, I was really happy. I was trying to like contain my happiness because other people were still taking tests. Yeah, but I was really happy.
It's a big moment.
Congratulations again. What about you, Mars? How do you
Uh,
feel during and after?
I don't know if I can recall that much about it because it was a long time ago, but I think I was going through it and was like, oh shit, oh shit, is this the right answer? I think it's this. Is it? Is it? And then like it kept getting harder and harder, right? And then I was like, oh god. And then like all of the blood bank questions that popped up. I am terrible at blood bank, like, mm-mm. And every time I got one, I was like, why is it asking me so many blood bank questions? And then it got to a point where it was like, oh my god, why is everything so easy? So I've heard like multiple things about it, right? It's kind of like, I think I've heard that um so of course things will keep getting more and more difficult, right? And then after you get the answer wrong, it goes back to like the easiest difficulty. And so once it kept getting like, I kept getting easy questions like towards the end, I was like, oh god, like am I getting everything wrong? But then I heard from like Anthony before that it's like after you've gotten enough points like to pass and are over 400, it's just gonna keep giving you easy questions to get you out of there. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true, but in my head I was like, am I stupid? Am I answering everything wrong? Or like, do I have enough points? Or do I actually just know like what the answer is and these are like my strong subjects? But that was like very little confidence in that answer. So, or like very little confidence in how well I was answering the question. So I was like, no, 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 that can't be it. I'm not. I'm just stupid. And so I think that was a lot of like screaming internally, like questioning myself. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Is it a pros or con? Because before I took the exam, I did not hear anything about the exam at all. I like all I know was like, oh, it was supposed to be getting uh more difficult if you get it right. And then like it become easy when you get it wrong. Like that's all I know. I didn't know that like, when you have enough point to pass, it will giving you easy questions to get out, anything like that. Um when I was taking the exam and I was like, oh, this is getting harder and harder. And then like at the same time, like I was like, wait, this is easy. Oh crap. That mean I got the previous question was wrong. Right? And then it's like easy. Okay. I get it wrong again. So that means that one is wrong. And then like, okay, easy again. That means it's wrong. And then like at one point I'm feel like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna fail. So let's just get out.
Right. So that's one of like the mind games of the thing that I wish like I didn't know, because I think it was Evelyn who actually told me that that was like one of the things that she did, where she was like, she would mark when she got like a really easy question so that she could go back to the question before thinking that she got it wrong. And then I was like, I don't trust myself enough to do that, because it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like trust myself enough to do that, because it's like, what if it was a strong subject of mine? Or I just like, what if I thought it was easy just because it was one of the subjects that I was a stronger in,
Or
right?
what if you're just that good?
Yeah, or no, that is not, no, we know that's not the case. But yeah, so like don't rely on those kinds of things, I guess, too much, but
Yeah.
that
Just
is the
do
best
your
we can
best.
say. Yeah, is it is definitely adaptive to where the questions will keep getting more and more difficult as you get them correct, but don't depend too much on the oh shit, this question is easy, I must have gotten the previous one wrong, because who knows, you might be like very excellent at blood bank like Peaches, but then like yeah.
No, but I just like blood bank. I did terrible on all the other ones.
I think blood bank was my worst subject, so
I think I passed because of blood bank.
really? I don't remember what the breakdown is, but you do have to have like a certain percentage in each subject in order
Mhm.
to pass. So it's not only like a 400 baseline. I don't know how they actually like do the whole scoring on the thing, but like if you don't have enough points in each subject, you won't
Right.
pass. Even if
Yeah.
you
Yeah, but you
did.
get more questions in those subjects, like
Oh,
to give you chance to
to
pass.
try and
So I know like the reason why I said like, oh, I guess I passed because of blood bank, because I only got 3 questions or maybe 5 maximum in blood bank.
we'll
I
see,
was like, give
guys.
me more blood bank.
That's why I kept saying, why the hell am I getting so many blood bank questions?
Because I was like, give me more blood bank. And then that was it. I'm like,
So, were you guys able to get the breakdown of like how you scored in each subject?
I don't remember.
I had to
Hmm.
email our clinical instructor to get my breakdown just because I wanted it. I do recall that they were saying like they give the instructors the breakdown of how the entire class does, like the average of the subject breakdown of how the entire class does. But I emailed our instructor because I wanted to know my breakdown. So I know that blood bank was my weakest, but my strongest was micro. But I don't know anything in micro.
Why are you in core lab when your strongest was micro?
No, it's because our instructor in micro was really great, and her final exam and her review for it was just like,
That's
and
good.
those were a bunch of questions that showed up on the ASCP. But if
That's
you
good.
ask me anything afterwards, I was like, I don't know what that's the answer. Like, I don't know. If you ask me to work in micro right now, or even immediately after, if you ask me to work in micro, like, doesn't, I don't think it translates too well. Um,
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
think so
I don't
either.
think
I
it
think
translates
micro
too well.
is it's hard to really like I guess the exam portion and the actual practical of the micro lab are two different set of skill.
I think
Like you
so.
do need to use those knowledge, but you have to like apply and like adapt to the procedures and also the technology
Uh
that
huh.
in micro right now it's very different.
I think.
And well, now that we talk about like the exam, how you feel before, but I guess I wanted to ask this question: do you have like a ritual of like what you do to
Oh.
prepare yourself before the exam? Like you praise, I don't know, like
Uh,
have a chocolate. Like, do you have
not really.
anything?
No. Not really. I'm
Nothing.
not really. No, no.
Just go get it done,
Just do
get
it.
out.
Yeah.
How about you, Peach?
Mm, nothing either. I think my ritual would be really not driving that day. I always try to find somebody to drive me
I mean, that's smart because you'd be like
because I
distracted,
don't
I think.
remember driving to any exam myself. Like with the SCP, I know I asked my cousin to drive me to drop me off and pick me up. With my like ASC CQA, the QA certificate, I also asked my husband to do it. Yeah. What about you, Mars?
For me, it was wish me good luck, and then that's it.
Oh.
But that was basically all I did.
Okay, now that we talk about it a lot. We went over like preparing the material that we use to prepare for the exam, the morning of, during, and after the exam. So, um, at this point, I hope that everybody who are listening to get a good idea of what it kind of look like, what it feel like preparing the day leading up to the exam. And now, what would be your one piece of advice to give it to, I guess, people who are about to take the SCP?
I think just don't freak out. just just you got this. You went through the program, and I think it really does prepare you. To be able to take the exam, um, and then whatever you do extra is just gonna help you. But yeah, don't freak out like I did. I kind of freaked out. Um, it'll be okay.
What about you, Mars? What would be your advice?
Uh, don't burn yourself out beforehand and go with your gut. I know that's two, but it's like you have to make sure that you don't burn your brain out so you can make sure you can trust yourself. Yeah,
Like for me, I guess it would be like just
cat hair. Sorry.
for me, like my advice would be just believe in yourself. You you went through the whole program. You passed the final. You like all of these things. It's prepare you for today, and like really, I guess maybe would just be it's not the end of the world. Like even if you did not pass, you can retake it again, but you will because we prepare you for it. If you watch all the materials in Blood Talks, you will pass.
If you feel like you
Well,
guys need more help, you can just comment down below. If we didn't
yes.
cover everything that you were hoping we would in this episode, you can also pop into our Discord that we wish more people would join. But yeah, you can always utilize us to help you guys in any way.
Hmm.
I'm always online.
Yeah.
I'm there.
So while that is a journey, that's a pretty intense and kind of some of us or maybe all of us are reliving our nightmare preparing for the ASCP exam. But I mean, it was a good time as well. I think like kind of good memory now, but a good memory of a nightmare. I'm not sure how that translates, but it's still a good memory to me. I guess spending those times study. It was a good look back, and I would do it again because it does give me a fulfilling job opportunity afterwards, and I hope that would be the same for all of you as well who are thinking about taking it or just recently passed or even as seasoned CLS. I hope you enjoy your careers and if you love today's episode, please like, share, subscribe, and let all your friends know about this channels. If you have any other questions that we did not cover, please leave the comment down below. We'll be responding to those comments. And with that being said, we'll see you in the next episode. And always, your blood tell you the story of your health. Thanks for watching. Bye.